Gaza City is on fire. Israel continues its relentless assault both on ground and from the air. As Israeli forces move in, the warplanes and tanks make the way. Israel has one message for residents of the city: please leave. It has opened a new escape route, but just for 48 hours. Here's a report.
Smoke rises on the Gaza City skyline. Troops advance, artillery thunders, while planes drop bombs from the sky. Israel's ground offensive is well and truly underway in Gaza City. IDF says it has struck more than 150 targets in the Gaza Strip's main urban hub to support the troops. These strikes were carried out by the Air Force and artillery. Leaflets dropped by Israel's military after they asked residents to move south. Holding one of the leaflets, 63-year-old Abu Muhammad said he will not leave.
Where should I go? I am not leaving. Where should I go? There is nowhere to go. Where should I go? There is no place we are staying. If we are going to die, we will die here. They opened Wadi Gaza. At the end, where will you reach? Where will you go? There's no place, no land, no water, nothing. We leave it to God.
The Israeli army says that more than 350,000 had so far fled the city. More are expected to follow.
The camp is crowded with displaced people from all the families from Beit Hanun, the camp, Jabalia, Beit Lahia. They all fled. They fled without preparation. The tents were burnt. Most people just fled. Due to the strike on the bank, it threw us onto the ground. May God make things easier. Only God will help us in this situation.
The IDF says it is opening a temporary new route to allow people to flee Gaza City. A temporary transportation route via Salah al-Din Street. The corridor would remain open for just 48 hours. Salah al-Din Street runs down the middle of the Gaza Strip from north to south. So far, residents have been asked to leave Gaza City via the coastal road. The offensive came as the United Nations probe accused Israel of committing genocide in the Palestinian territory, a charge Israel rejected as distorted and false. European Union is preparing to take action against Israel with proposal for curbing trade ties and sanctioning ministers.
Israeli government's push into Gaza City is a new escalation of the war and will further deepen the humanitarian crisis. Today, I presented a robust package of sanctions of Hamas terrorists, extremist ministers in the Israeli government, and violent settlers and entities supporting the impunity going on in the West Bank. The Commission adopted a proposal to partially suspend trade concessions.
But Israel says any move will harm Europe's own interests. Meanwhile, in Gaza City, the exodus continues. Residents are rushing out of the city as a 48-hour deadline looms large.
Hours after European Union Chief von der Leyen and US President Trump discuss imposing a fresh round of sanctions on Russia, the Kremlin has dismissed the proposals, saying that the West is mistaken if it thinks that sanctions will force Moscow to change its course. Responding to the European Union's proposal to phase out import of all Russian oil and gas by 2027 end, the Kremlin said in a statement that Russia would defend its interests and is not affected by sanctions. The Kremlin, however, added that it is open to resolving the Ukraine conflict through diplomacy. Earlier in a meeting with US President Trump, EU Chief Ursula von der Leyen said that the EU executive would soon present its proposals for a 19th package of EU sanctions on Russia. According to von der Leyen, these would target crypto, banks and Russian energy. Russian oil and gas, which is a major target of new sanctions, have already led to an estimated $100 billion in loss or lost export earnings since 2022. Measuring the total cost of sanctions on Russia is complex, but reports suggest the overall cumulative loss to its GDP is estimated to be well in excess of $1.6 trillion. President Trump has been pushing allies, including the European Union and NATO, to stop buying Russian oil and gas before he moves ahead with sanctions on Moscow. Speaking to reporters before departing for a 3-day visit to the United Kingdom, Trump said that Ukrainian President Zelensky will have to make a deal and urged Europe to stop buying Russian oil.
Well, he's going to have to get going and make a deal. He's going to have to make a deal. Zelensky's going to have to make a deal. And Europe has to stop buying oil from Russia. Okay? You know, they talk, but they have to stop buying oil from Russia.
These developments come amid intensifying Russian aerial assaults on Ukrainian cities and counterattacks by Russian oil and energy facilities.